Hi, my name is Danny, and today we're going to be talking about the top 5 productivity habits, or sort of life practices, that have honestly kind of changed my life and definitely changed the way I work. If this is your first time visiting my channel, hello again, my name is Danny. I post every single week with tips and tricks talking about how we can optimize your life through your habits, your productivity, and your finances. The super cool thing about today's video is that the 5 tips I'm going to share with you are literally meant to be used together. So it's not like I'm going to give you some awesome tip, but when you do it, you can't do this one at the same time. What I'm about to share are the 5 tips that I use in conjunction pretty much anytime I'm getting something done. Now, definitely stay around for the end of the video because tip number 5 is definitely sort of a Danny special. You probably haven't heard anything really like it before, but it works for me, so I think it might work for you too. Okay, not trying to be too much of a YouTuber here, but let's dive in. Okay, tip number 1 is called the Pomodoro Technique, and you may not have heard that word before or that phrase, but you're probably familiar with what it is. So themuse.com defines it as a time management system that encourages people to work with the time they have rather than against it. Using this method, you break your workday into 25-minute chunks separated by 5-minute breaks. These intervals are referred to as Pomodoros. After about 4 Pomodoros, you take a longer break of about 15 to 20 minutes. I've been using the Pomodoro Technique pretty consistently for at least 4 years now, because I used it all the way through college. Specifically, what I really like about the Pomodoro Technique is I feel like it's a lot harder to get burnt out on something when you use the technique. I've found that by using the regimented breaks, I feel much more creative and much less brain dead by the time I finish a project. I mean, also, the greatest thing about the Pomodoro Technique is like, typically when you're hustling and trying to get something done, don't you like feel guilty about taking breaks? Not with the Pomodoro Technique, baby. The breaks are built in. Before I started using this technique, I was a grinder. That sounds weird. Before I started using this technique, I would just try to grind through projects. I would sit down and just hustle until it was done. So I found that by using the Pomodoro Technique, I always felt much more refreshed and the quality of my work was actually better. Okay, the second productivity hack is to lose your phone on purpose. Sounds awesome, right? So yeah, basically the point here is to put your phone away for a set amount of time so that you can get whatever work you're trying to get done. Hey, stop flying, fly, I'm trying to record. Now you may be thinking,
come on, dude, I can control myself. I can have my phone right here and it's not even an issue.
And to that, I would say, that's great, buddy, good for you. But it's literally been proven that regardless if you're even touching your phone, it can still be negatively impacting your productivity and your workflow. So I want to share this study with you that I found. So it's from the Journal of the Association for Consumer Research. This study involved 800 different people. During the study, they found that the presence of our phones causes our brains to be more distracted, and throughout the test, they referred to this as brain drain. So here's what they found. To stop brain drain, you need to separate yourself from your phone. Putting your phone face down or turning it off did not stop the brain drain effect. Our phones needed to be physically away from our presence to make an impact. Defined and protected periods of separation may allow consumers to perform better, not just by reducing interruptions, but also by increasing available cognitive capacity. So to summarize, the study found that out of the 800 individuals, the ones that performed the best, had the best quality of work, and got the most done, had their phones out of sight, while the ones that had their phones on their desk, even if it was face down or just in their pocket, those individuals tended to not do as well. So I know what you're thinking. You're like, Danny, your first tip was the Pomodoro Technique, and I need a way to keep time. How can I keep time without my phone? I am so glad you asked. Get a sand timer, baby. This is a freebie. Well, the sand timer wasn't free, but this tip I'm giving, I don't know what I was trying to say with that. But get a sand timer. Anytime I'm using the Pomodoro Technique, I use this guy. Flip it over, work for my 25 minutes, and take my break for 5 minutes, then flip it over again. Also, I feel like sand timers are just super aesthetic and it goes nicely with my room. But yeah, you can get sand timers in whatever time amount you want. You can get a 25-minute one, a 10-minute one, you can get a 5-minute sand timer, whatever you want. They're on Amazon, they're super cheap. Okay, tip number 3 is to go somewhere. Get out of my sight. For me, I found that my productivity dramatically increased. I was so much more focused whenever I choose to take this work session and do it somewhere else. It's sort of like going to the gym, right? Because you can always work out at home, but because home is always there, you kind of don't really work out a lot at home. But when you go to the gym, you know there's a purpose in that trip. You know that you're going there to work out. It's the same concept. If I grab my laptop, grab my sand timer or whatever, and go to a coffee shop, I know that the purpose of this trip is to get work done. So it's a lot easier to focus. So yeah, my favorite places to go are coffee shops, libraries are good, anywhere that's like a little bit out of the way, so it's increasing your investment in whatever you want to get done. The fourth productivity habit is called time blocking. So time blocking is basically a scheduling technique where you sit down and plan when you're gonna get work done and you allocate time to getting it done. So let's say you're watching this video, you're inspired and you wanna go have a super productive work sesh. Awesome. You got your Pomodoro technique, you're gonna leave your phone behind, you got some other way to keep time, you're gonna go somewhere else that's out of the way to get the studying done. So then this technique right here, time blocking, is the process of planning when all of that's gonna happen. So let me show you my personal time blocking template and how I get it done. Okay, so here is how I do time blocking. So I actually built an Excel spreadsheet to help me do it, and it makes it super, super easy. So I'm gonna walk you through my workflow with this and then also tell you how you can get one of these templates because people ask me all the time where they can get this template. So I'll tell you how to do that as well. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is here on the right side, the time blocking side, put in this schedule everything that's like a non-negotiable, things that need to happen in order for your week to flow. So for me, I've got, I have church at this time, my devotions, each day at 5:30. I know I have worship practice on Wednesdays at 6:30. So basically everything that needs to happen, go ahead and put it in there. And that's like the base layer of your time blocking. So then everything that doesn't have a due date yet, you can work around all of those things. So here on the left, you place anything that you need to get done in this week. You just brain dump it all. So you say what it is, by when you need it done, and what the importance is. So for this week, I know I need to film 2 videos. I know I want those done by Wednesday, and that's a top priority for me. So what I'm gonna do is look over here, and if I need it done before Wednesday, let's put it on Monday after my workout. So we'll put it for 10:30, and then boom. So I know that is taken care of. So that's the process. You'll go through each of the things that you brain dumped on the week objectives spreadsheet right here and just find a good place for them on the time blocking spreadsheet. So once you've time blocked them in your Excel spreadsheet and you figured out how to make all of them work with what else you need to get done, then you go to your calendar app and go ahead and schedule them and set alerts to make everything work succinctly. So that's pretty much the process. So now let's talk about how you can get this template. So in college, I got certified in Microsoft Excel. I love it. So I use it to build tools for myself, and people have been asking me, hey, can I borrow your budgeting spreadsheet? Can I borrow your scheduling spreadsheet? So what I'm doing is I'm putting my spreadsheets on Patreon. So if you want to support the channel and you want a sick spreadsheet that can help you be more productive, I really appreciate anybody who checks out my Patreon. The link is in the description. Okay, that is how we time block, and back to Couch Danny. Okay, last one, you waited for it. Point number 5 is to create a ritual. So the whole purpose of a productivity ritual is to get your head in the zone and help you focus more. And I've created a unique one for me that it helps. Now I know this probably sounds sketchy, like I'm over here on YouTube telling you that you need a ritual. But if you haven't unsubscribed or clicked off yet, stick with me. So anytime I need to get something done, and I've already, I'm using the Pomodoro technique, I'm getting rid of my phone, I'm going somewhere to study, I'm using time blocking, the last thing I'll do is I actually have an outfit that I wear when I wanna get work done. And putting that outfit on, or it's really more of a style of clothes, just gets me in the mindset to work. I know it sounds weird, but I feel like you could compare it to runners, for instance, long distance runners. When they put on a certain pair of shoes, mentally they're like, okay, I know what we're doing. But they probably don't feel like that when they put on Vans. Certain clothing articles or different things we do can be mental cues that it's time to get something done. So what does my productivity ritual look like? I'm so glad you asked. Here's what it looks like. Okay, so I start with the socks. We gotta have comfy socks. And then from there, we're gonna build up to the black joggers. I love black joggers. I have a bunch of black joggers. Then we're gonna hop over to our black hoodie. Yep, you guessed it, going black again, baby. Then from there, we're gonna mix it up. We're gonna get our blue light glasses. And then the last piece is going to be just some comfy shoes to top it all off. So then what's really cool is by the end of it, I just look like this awesome gothic ninja hipster, which is just really, really cool. And then people tell me all the time, hey Danny, when you dance in that outfit, you look really, really awesome. That's what people usually tell me. So, don't ask for names of anyone who's told me that, but that's just the general consensus. So maybe creating a ritual will resonate with you, maybe it won't, and that's okay either way, but either way, I would encourage you to try it and just see how it works for you. So to summarize, the productivity hacks that I shared in this video, the ones that have genuinely changed my life and the way I interact with my work are 1, the Pomodoro Technique, 2, getting rid of your phone while you're working, 3, going somewhere while you're working, 4, time blocking, and 5, our favorite, creating a ritual. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. That is the end of the video. If you found any value in this video, I would really appreciate if you subscribed, leave a like, comment for the algorithm, as always, and I will see you guys next week.